All right, welcome to the comic shop. Well, actually, welcome to the Comic Wrestling Podcast. I got a little ahead of myself. I'm a little injured, so bear with me. The meds are with my brain. But we are the comic shop. I am the clerk, as always, Ace Williams, with the assistant,
Deadly Dave.
And joining us again for the who cares how many times, he's here.
Markadius.
He's Markadius. And today in the comic shop, we're going to talk about the MCU in Phase 4.
Phase 4.
Already?
Maybe he's the one on the meds, I don't even know. But yes, Phase 4 and everything and anything that probably consists of it and beyond. Who knows? But before we get into it, I always like to share like what kind of movies I'm into or what's up to date. I know you and I are going to talk about Nightcrawler for a minute because you did watch it, you said. First off, I picked up this for like $10 at Walmart called The Headhunter. Just kind of seemed it. Well, that's all it seemed apparently was just This was a pretty interesting movie. It's two people in the entire movie, and spoiler alert, one of them dies right in the beginning. So it just drops down to, you named it, one person in the entire movie. He's just basically going out and like killing these goblins and ghouls and monsters because they're the ones that killed whoever. So he's just trying to get revenge. It's just a revenge movie. It's boring as shit if you're not invested in the character. If you don't care about this guy, then don't watch the movie because he's the only fucking actor in it. And it's very slow paced, but it's got a wicked twist of an ending. I didn't see that coming.
He looks badass.
Yeah, but he doesn't dress like that the entire movie, so that's a little disillusioned.
Okay.
Like these parts here where they show him with his helmet on and shit, are probably the only scenes. But he's like this big, like Eric the Viking badass. You know, I'm gonna go kill Gimli and his whole family.
And it's cool when you can find a movie like that that's not, you know, advertised and shit.
Right.
And, you know, just something interesting
just
to watch.
something random. And then this one, Hellfest, I've seen it before. Like, I've never seen it, but I've seen it, like, on the shelves and shit like that before in my passing. This was awesome.
Really?
This was like a straight 90s slasher flick that if it came out like the same time Halloween did, which wasn't the 90s, but this probably would have, like, been
Set the bar high.
Yeah, it really does, because it's just
Nice.
a traditional, these kids go to this theme park, it's pretty much Oktoberfest, like The Great Escape, but it's like an entire theme park that is devoted to being like a horror theme park, and it is just, I want that to be a real place. I want to go there. As soon as they go there, the kids are walking in, they're like, oh, look at that place. And they've got this like mountain of like dead bodies as like this tower that this like demonic DJ is like playing music to and shit. It's just a world that I want to be a part of. And this guy just goes around and just kills the people during the carnival, not carnival, but during the amusement park, and other people just think that's part of the show.
Yeah, as you would. I mean,
as one
you know.
would, because it's... And if you're watching this and you think, well, come on, realistically, that you would tell the difference. They go so hard in this movie with the special effects to where it looks like the special effects truly could be legit. It blends in so well. It's not campy, it's not corny, the deaths are pretty nuts. Like this one guy gets a syringe full of vodka shoved in his eye. Because that's how they drink, you know, oh, it's cool, we'll take shots in fake syringes, you know, that's just part of the thing.
Yeah.
And then at some point, it's like, nah, fuck you. I thought it was pretty cool. And the guy that played Candyman was in it, Tony Todd, who does the voice of Savitar, right? From one of the... Flash? You know what I'm talking about? He's one of the speed gods or something. He does the voice for him. No, Zoom.
Oh,
the
Zoom.
creepy one that you thought was scary because he kind of had like the oozy mouth. He does the voice for Zoom.
Okay.
So that's kind of a cool little whatever you want to do.
Neat.
But last time I I showed the movie Nightcrawler, which I hadn't seen at that point. Markadius took it upon himself to check out said movie. What did you think? It was pretty good, wasn't it?
It was on, and I'm like, okay, I'll check it out.
I think I watched it the night after you guys left, or maybe a day or two, or whatever it was.
I loved it.
Pretty, Dave, spoiler alert, we're going to kind of talk about it for a minute.
It's all right.
All about this guy, I don't even know, he's just a fucked up individual.
Like a low life.
Just he has like some kind of psychological issue where he can't just connect to people in a normal way. He's a user, an abuser, a manipulator. But looking at him, you wouldn't think that.
But he's smart. Or
He's smarter than almost anybody in the entire movie.
Wow.
But he's just a con man to the fucking fullest degree. So he's trying to like peddle his way through life pretty much, just doing this or that, stealing this or that, selling this or that. He comes upon these news, or they call them night crawlers in real life.
I didn't know that was a real thing.
I didn't either until I watched like the bonus features and shit and found out it was all real. Like these night crawlers, they will go around and have CB radios in their car, and they'll hear of an accident, so they'll go and they'll be the first ones there getting the video footage,
Exclusive.
and then that's how it gets sold to the news media. and
Kind
shit
of a
like that.
TMZ kind of thing today, really.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, they still do night crawling
Yeah.
today, because even they had two people, because it took place I think in San Francisco maybe or something.
Mm-hmm.
They had two people that were actually night crawlers take Jake Gyllenhaal on,
Cool.
so he got the real vibe and real feel for it. But they don't go to the extremes he does. Like he's setting up
Yeah.
elaborate things to benefit himself, and then
Yeah.
it's just it was
like
intense.
pulling that body, like
Dragging
in front
that
of the camera.
body right so it makes it look, oh, that's a better shot.
Oh my god.
And I wonder still if he was in that house, if there was a baby in that house.
Oh, somewhere?
I believe he killed the baby and then fucking like hid the body or something.
Oh no.
Because like, why would everybody be in the home, but the baby's not there?
Yeah.
It just that was weird, and it might have taken it a little too far if they showed something like that.
It might have been a worse rating if they'd done something like that.
But it's just, I would have not enjoyed it, but it would have been like, wow, that guy's
You could see
really
him
fucked
do
up.
that.
Yes, you could. And then like, well, where was the baby? I don't know. There's a shoebox in my house. Don't check that. You know, something weird like that, because he was weird like that.
So weird.
So bizarre, but it was a good movie. I do recommend it. I really do. I really, really do. I picked it up at Family Dollar for $4.99.
What would you give it out of 10?
Well, I'd probably give it an 8. Good solid 8, because I was completely gripped right from the beginning when he sees
There
that
was
guy.
Parts where I was just like,
Oh yeah.
good dog.
At the end with the shootout and his buddy,
Yeah.
I was like, no fucking way! And then he's like filming him. I'm like, you are a sick puppy. You are sick, man.
Mine was when they were in the car chase, and then the cop got
Well, that was intense,
nailed, and they kept going,
They
and
just-
I'm just like,
dude. There was a
who
lot
are
of
these guys?
there was a lot of cops that died right then and there in that
Yeah.
scene. A lot of them.
That red car was pretty sweet. Too.
No one questions that. Like, where do you just get this car from? Like, I know you're making a lot of money, but why do you still live in this shithole apartment
It was tricked out.
when you got this sick? What was that? A
It
GT?
was like a Challenger Dodge.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
just sick. But
It was awesome.
it was a good movie. What would you give it?
I'd give it 8.5.
Wow, you gotta be better than me. You gotta be fucking one of me. You know what? Well, I give it an 8.6. How about that, Jake Gyllenhaal? Motherfucker. No, I still give it a solid 8 because it was good. I'll give it there. But Dave, what'd you think of the movie?
I don't know.
He didn't know. That's great.
I give it a 99 because
Wow, what a
I haven't seen
son
it
of a
yet.
bitch!
You'll like it, Dave.
I think you would enjoy it because it's not like.
It's a thriller, not
It
really.
is.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's. I would say it's horror, just because there are people out there like that, which makes it scary.
Totally.
This wasn't a created character like Headhunter or something, where it's like let's make this badass guy and just make him over the top badass. This Jake Gyllenhaal character is just slime
He wouldn't let anyone get in his way either.
for
He wanted
anything.
he wanted that first spot.
And even when he saw the guy's watch in the beginning, remember in the beginning, the dude stops him. He's like, "You're not supposed to be in here." And he goes, "Oh, well, I got turned around. I thought this was a way to the highway." You just cut the fence. He's like, "Oh, you got me. Oh, you're a personal security guard. I was gonna try out for them." And the guy's like, "Really?" And then he just looks at his watch. Instantly makes me think, "Oh, he's gonna take that fucking thing." And the next thing you know, he jumps him, and then they show him riding around in his car wearing that watch.
Wow.
Like, just a fucking
That's a
wackadoo.
psychopath right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A sociopath,
Yeah.
sociopath, definitely. Like, eat your heart out, Alfred Hitchcock with Psycho, because this motherfucker's got it. He's
Got
really
it.
that crazy. But anything new? I hurt my back. I'm out of commission for a little while. That's kind of new, but I'm still going.
he's healthy enough to do the podcast. That's that's
So
a good sign.
pay your fucking respects in money. Money, 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 money!
Someone's gotta pay those bills. Not you.
It is me, unfortunately. Mark, what did you went and saw Motocrossing?
Yeah, I can't. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was the 50th anniversary Unadilla. Awesome time. The track was huge. Thousands of people. It was actually on live TV. It was a
That's
pro
cool.
event.
That's nice.
They did the champagne. They had girls holding the things. It was awesome.
Go back to that one.
The girls.
Yeah.
It was just girls everywhere.
This is gonna end the
Awesome.
broadcast of this show.
It was
I'd have to go to the
awesome.
bathroom, folks. Dave, anything exciting going on with you or no?
Just this. I mean,
Just this.
What
What does that tell you? Jeez.
my life,
Oh
yeah.
my lordy lord. All right. Well, I guess now that we're through the current events of the show, we'll toss those to the wayside. Flick that down there.
Thought you didn't have notes.
Uh,
You fucking liar.
these are the same notes as last time. I didn't get any further.
But yet you still have fucking notes.
I didn't finish even writing the word Eternals. It just says Eteran.
He was gonna finish it later.
I think, here we go. Here's some stuff. Here's a little bit of stuff. So we are going to talk about the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic University. That's not right.
Close enough.
Marvel Cinematic.
It'll probably be something eventually.
If I can channel my Conrad and do a pause. The MCU Phase 4. The films, the TV, the timeline, directors, all sorts of shit if we can remember it, if we can get through it. Because this is going to be different. The movies that are coming out, we kind of mentioned them last time in the show. We kind of did a quick rundown. It's Black Widow, The Eternals, Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and Thor, Love and Thunder. So we'll just... Well,
There's no
That's
enthusiasm for that
That's
one.
a common reaction. Though.
Yeah.
amongst everybody.
Yes.
Amongst everybody. You really fucked yourself there, Marvel. And you know what? Let's start there, because I'm hot now.
I like it when you're fired up anyways. It's more fun. So.
Thor, Love and fucking Blunder is going to be a shit show. I don't care if you've got Meek, Korg, Thor, Odin comes back to life, Loki pops in to say, hello, fuckers. It's just going to be garbage, in my opinion. This is the first...
Hot garbage.
Yes, hot garbage. This is the first MCU movie I am absolutely not wanting to see in theaters already. I don't even know details other than at the Comic-Con, Tessa Thompson, Valkyrie, her first reply to what you're going to do for Asgard. Well, I got to find myself a queen. You fucking find your fucking people a home.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You don't find yourself a mate. You go and you find your fucking people a home, and then you settle down, and then you come to terms with, I can't do this alone. I need myself a partner. We need to do this together. There's more going on than anything. So, Tessa Thompson, right on you. Second person I'm going to poop on is one of your favorites, Natalie Portman. Shit on you, Natalie Portman, you fuck. Because you sued Marvel Studios to get out of your contract for the rest of the Thor movies because you absolutely hated being in Thor 2. During that time, all you did was talk shit about how these Marvel movies and superhero movies are a phase, no pun intended, but they'll come and go.
Wow.
And here you are now coming back to be female Thor, which absolutely nobody wants because the things I just referred to.
Oh, they're making billions of dollars. I probably ought to get back into this.
Exactly. And it's just... It's a cheap way to do diversity, which that is 100% of what Phase 4 is. It's all diversity. You have not one single, except for Doctor Strange, and even in that, Doctor Strange is British in real life, or English, whatever you want to call him. So none of these movies, and I'm not saying they have to be, but none of these movies have a single white leading male. Again, not saying they have to. But Black Widow, it's Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited for that movie. I really, truly am. I look forward to that. The Eternals. You have one white guy in it, and he's like Australian. And then there's like 8 main cast members, okay? And they're all women and a deaf girl. The fuck do we need a deaf person for? How's she gonna hear action? How's she gonna hear cut? How's she gonna know what the reactions are when people are applauding?
They're just
her
gonna
movie?
wait till she stops.
do these, and she'll get excited. I'm not.
Jazz hands for her.
Doctor Strange yet again. I mean, that's the one that there is a male leading role. And I'm not saying these movies have to be, but this is just the changing of the guard I'm trying to put out there. And then you have Thor fucking blunder again. Now you got this asshole, and I'm going to call him that plays Korg, Taika Waititi, trolling people on Twitter and stuff about this movie. Have you seen that, probably?
No.
You should be not focusing on dividing your fans. And that's exactly what he's doing. There's people out there that are, basically retorting the same shit I am of, this movie's gonna suck because you're force-feeding the diversity right down our throats. And one, the female Thor comic with Jane Foster is shit. I haven't read it, but I've looked into it on my phone to get an idea of what I might be looking at. Garbage. It's not interesting. It's not sorry for being what it is, which I feel like it should, because nobody asked for it. Like, how are you going to become worthy if Odin's not around? Is Thor going to deem you worthy? Like, this is just shit. But Taika Waititi is on, like, Facebook and Twitters and Instagrams and stuff, basically making fun of the people that are saying, we're not interested in this movie, and it's just, that's the wrong approach, especially when this shit is so sensitive to certain people's...
And I've seen videos of him.
Ideologies.
Like, even the intro on the Blu-ray of him to Thor, Ragnarok, he seems like a motherfucker that's way too high on himself.
Very high on himself. He thinks anything he can say is funny,
Yeah,
and
he
it
thinks
should
he's
be.
hilarious.
Yes,
Yep.
he does. He really, really does. He truly does. I really believe that, too. I mean, Korg is a fun character, but it's an annoying character.
After a while, yeah, it definitely is.
I don't want to see a full-blown movie with that as his sidekick, because then at some point, I'm just done.
Yeah.
I'm done with it. That's a novelty character to me. That's not a main character.
He was around just enough in Ragnarok,
Yep.
in my opinion.
Yep.
Well, he almost directed Guardians 3. Thank God that changed.
We got James Gunn back for that one. There was a slate for like movies that are coming out in 2022. I was just watching it last night, and I know Guardians was like supposed to be like May something 2022, but I can't remember what the hell was before that one. I never wrote any of it down, but that's for Phase 5, and we're not there, so it don't fucking even matter. So yeah, I was so excited for Thor when they first announced it. I really was. I was like, yes, wow, he's the first one to get 4 movies instead of a trilogy. And it's only to give Natalie Portman, I feel, something. It's like, I'm just not interested in that. I really am not. I wanted a movie like Thor 4, just spitballing here, to show him with the Guardians or something at first, and then split away because Hela's back. I don't know, I just kind of made that up. Something like that's back. So he's like, well, I gotta go do this. And they're like, well, we're gonna go do this. So you just split the guards right there. And then have, like, Beta Ray Bill be, like, your main antagonist.
Yeah.
Until they have to come together. And then Thor's like, well, I have Mjolnir. Here's Stormbreaker. That's your weapon anyways. You're worthy of it. You can have
Would
it.
they throw down at
Oh,
first?
yeah.
Oh,
They'd be enemies that just button heads for the longest time. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yes.
And then, like I said, I don't know, something comes in between where it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe you're not the bad guy. This is really the threat. We should probably work together. Now, I know they've done that in the first Avengers movie. They did that in Infinity War. But that's how people that don't know each other, that are all on a defensive line, are going to react to one another. They're going to be...
It's a storyline from the beginning of time. You got to have conflict.
Right. Like, I mean, exactly. What are your guys' thoughts on the Thor movie? Like, where do you sit with it?
It was an excuse to bring Natalie Portman back. Like, what?
Yeah.
It really, it's fucking horrible. I mean, I think she's hotter than hell, but that's fucking...
Typical. Because she's hot.
No, I think it's stupid, too. I think that she's
do.
back is really
I think
fucking
she's
stupid.
hot.
I don't.
She should, if you were going to bring her back, I didn't know all that backstory about pursuing and shit, but just as the love interest, why do you need to do anything more than that?
I don't even know why. I don't even know why Thor needs a love interest anymore.
No.
That's you haven't had a love interest since the second fucking Thor movie.
I mean, he has more chemistry with the Valkyrie chick than he did.
But she's a
with
lesbian.
her, you know what I mean?
She's
Yeah.
a lesbian.
Yeah.
You got to put that out there now, because you can't just assume. Well, she could be a lesbian, and I'll just go with that. Because if you assume it, now you're a problem. So they have to come out and specifically say, I am this. Where it's like, well, why can't I just maybe imagine Black Widow's a dyke?
Or you can infer it, but not come right out and say it.
Right, that's exactly what I mean.
Yep.
Like, let me create that narrative instead of completely changing, or not even changing, because I don't know if Valkyrie's a lesbian in the movies or comics or not. But, like, why do you have to come right out and say it? Thor doesn't come right out and say, I'm a straight male. Well, you're going to have people, well, he had a love interest in Jane Foster. Yeah, so what? He could have had a love interest in fucking Volstagg, his big fat redheaded buddy. He could have been bisexual. Who knows? They don't have to come right out and say that stuff.
Yep.
But no, now in 2019, it's not even comic books. 2019, you have to address, well, we are definitely going to pander to this audience and we are going to let you know. And I just think that's awful. I think that's stupid. You divide a fan base completely.
And they think they need to get that conversation started to get buzz about whatever they're doing, but then, like you said, it divides.
It creates the wrong buzz.
Yep.
Like, I'm going to go off here in a minute, but Rocko's Modern Life is my favorite cartoon in the entire world, hands down. There's a Netflix special that's coming out, like an hour-long maybe movie special, where it's like Rocko's lost in time. He's still living in the 90s, but it's present day. Now, this is a fucking kid's cartoon to me, right? But because I grew up with it as a kid. They are changing Ralph Bighead to Rachel Bighead and having a whole transgender topic in it. Why? Why the fuck does that need to be in a kid's cartoon, which that is the demographic, other than like 90s kids that grew up with it. But
nerds
still,
are gonna love it, yeah.
That we don't need that shit in a cartoon. Well, it's 2019. We have to be relevant. No, throw cell phones in there. Show people disconnected on conversations. You don't need to have Caitlyn Jenner involved in this kind of bullshit. I said it, Mark. I fucking said it. Caitlyn Jenner. I don't get it.
But you still watch it.
No, I won't.
You won't?
No. Because you're completely destroying something for one demographic just to appease another demographic. Equality is equality. Men are not better than women. Women are not better than men. We are both on the same playing field. But once you come out and you say, we are doing this for the women's rights, I'm only using that as the example, you are now downplaying the men. Which enriles me because I don't think we're better than you, but we are equal. That's equality. Not taking the franchise of Ocean's 11 and then completely making all the main characters female. Well, that's just because that's how it kind of was in the originals. You're specifically doing it to change the guard. Like, that, I hate that shit. And, like, that's so true. That's how I look at that. There's no need to knock down... Well, I'm a strong woman. Well, great. The men in their action movies, I've never heard Stallone come right out and say, I'm a big, strong, buff guy, oh. I do it all, huh? Like, he doesn't have to say that. He goes and he just acts, and his movies show that. Why can't you have a female lead like that doesn't have to say, well, this bat suit was made for a man and it was perfection, but it's better, or it's going to be more perfect when it fits a woman's body. You know what I'm talking about, right? For Batwoman? She said that. It's like, why do you have to say it like that?
Linda Hamilton didn't have to say she was a badass in the Terminator movies.
No, because you had what's his name? James Cameron saying it all.
Yep.
It's like, you don't need to acknowledge it. I can see this movie. I get it. Like, in the movie Hellfest, there's like 5-6 kids. 3-on-3, 3 girls, 3 boys. And the 2 girls are the survivors, right? Spoiler alert. Now, they didn't say at the end of the movie, we did it because we have vaginas. And we overcame all these fucking hurdles together, babe. Oprah, here we come. They didn't need to say that. I looked at it as like, wow, those are 2 pretty strong women to fight off that one fucking bad guy.
Clever, smart.
Exactly. I let my mind create that moment instead of being told, well, these 2 women, they just beat that one guy, so they must be stronger. Like, I don't look at it like that. So I absolutely hate this new Thor movie. That's where I was getting to. It just does nothing for me. Even if they show Beta Ray Bills in it, I'm going to be like, you just ruined him. Because he's probably going to have a dingly and some lips. You know what I'm talking about. Like I said something on one of these videos. Norman Osborn. There's rumor that Norman Osborn might be black now. Like, why? Why do you have to make him black too? And I'm not saying that he can't be black, but there are other black billionaires in this universe that can come over and be what his character is, opposed to taking that character that's so iconic and just blackwashing him.
And you're going to turn off the fans that want you. You don't have to stay completely true to the comic, but it has to be based on it, you know.
Exactly. Well, and then in the video, the guy is saying, you know, these are the reasons, politically, we'll call it like that, this is why he would make a great Norman Osborn. And he is throwing good points out there of how his black ethnicity could play a part of why he's so disgruntled. I get that. There's definitely some threads there that could work. But then I'm thinking on a larger scale, it's like, okay, we can break his character down and make sense of why he should be black. But then what about Harry?
Oh, yeah.
You're just going to have Harry be the angry black kid?
Well, he could have a white mom.
You could do that, but then to me, now you're just trying to play off of what Spider-Man Homecoming did. Where his girlfriend was black, so you assumed her parents are black, but then BAM! It's Michael Keaton's her fucking dad.
Yep.
Which was brilliant, amazing.
Yeah.
So I can go with that. I can go with having a mixed race family. But that's in the Spider-Man universe still, and that's all I'm going to think about is, so in Spider-Man's universe, everybody's a mixed race. Because, like, is her fucking mom and dad white and black? Or are they both black? I don't know. You know, then that's where my mind starts to go, and I don't want to have to think that way when I'm watching a movie. I want to think, this character was just the perfect role. But if you have Harry as his son, who in the comics is just the angry son because he's angry at his dad because he doesn't get attention. He's angry at his friends because he's getting the love that he likes. But he holds it together well, and then he finally explodes and becomes a Green Goblin. But if you have that as a black teenager, and he's just pissed off at the world, you're just telling me that's how black kids are this day and age. They're pissed off at the world. There's no character development. You've taken him back a notch. And made him black, which is now making that the demographic.
Yeah, you've done a stereotype.
Exactly. So it's one of these, like, yes, this looks good here, but how's it going to play out down here? And then to me, I'm going to be like, wow, it's the white boy versus the black boy fight. Like that typical...
And then when you announce that stuff, you give people that want to analyze it like that are going to do that, and then it's just going to, you know...
detract people from it, 100%. And that sucks, because... But the guy that they're looking at for Osborn, you saw who it is?
No, who?
Gus.
Oh, wow.
He'd do it good, though, right?
Yeah.
He would.
Yeah, totally.
Gus Fring, I don't know. John Janiso Esposito.
Yeah.
Something weird like that. He's
great.
And he's not even really black. He's like Mexican Italian kind of deal, but he's colored. Like he's black. He looks black.
Perfect.
But he would play that character really well because he's a composed figure, and he's from Breaking Bad. He's like,
and he can go lose his temper, as we've seen.
But still in that calm demeanor where that's almost scarier.
Yes.
And he would play a good character like that. But I personally want to see him as Kang. Kang the Conqueror, the time traveling god dude, because then you can leave him look like he's got to clearly have a costume because in the comics he's purple and wears like a green suit. But you don't have to play on he has to be purple skin. Let him be his ethnicity, but let his ethnicity play through, I guess. Don't let him be like Mexican, Italian, whatever he is. Make him be what that character's presenting, but let his ethnicity show through that. To where you're not completely changing a character because Kang isn't of human race, but you can let him now be identified as a human race looking character without completely changing another character for the benefit of, we got to have this in there. I think that would just, I think he'd be a really good Kang because he's got that calm demeanor, which is terrifying. Because as Gus, he was.
Great.
I mean, even in Better Call Saul, it's like, this guy, I don't know what's he going to do at any given moment because he's just so composed but scary. But Gus Fring would be cool to have in the MCU.
Totally, yes.
I did see somebody say he could be Magneto.
Ooh,
But then again, it's like, how? His kids are white. If you're gonna do the white,
Yeah.
It's just that's when it gets convoluted of like, what do we do?
Yep.
That's why you go back in time and you get Ian McKellen and you just fucking say get younger again, Grand Wizard, and he becomes a young wizard that's on time.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody is better than Ian McKellen. Fassbender was good, but Ian McKellen was the Magneto from my 90s cartoon.
Totally.
But we'll get off of that for now, I guess, the Thor, because we don't have any details of these movies other than just what we're going to speculate and what our thoughts are of the characters and crap like that. But we'll go back to the top of the list. Black Widow. I'm so happy there's a Black Widow movie because I think she's a character that's really cool. From what I've heard from the panels and stuff coming from it, it takes place after Civil War,
Yep.
which I find that to be discerning because I don't give a fuck. I know she went on the run like Captain America did. Like, am I going to get a Captain America movie that's based off after Civil War into Infinity War?
No.
Right. So what the fuck do I assume Black Widow went on the run with these guys.
Yeah.
And they've been secret Avengers this whole time, just stopping small crimes. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe you will see Cap
That'd be cool.
in there. But I wanted this to be a prequel.
Yeah, exactly.
To the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
To show how she got involved, show Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
So off of that notion, I'm a little, like, perturbed by that because it just doesn't seem as exciting now.
You think maybe they'll have her have flashbacks during this movie, you know what I mean, to kind of show her backstory as
I
she's
hope
doing
so,
you know
because
what I mean?
there's a girl in it, the chick from Fighting With My Family, the main girl that played Paige. She is in this, and that's why I wish I wrote down the notes and shit that I wanted to, because I can't remember any of their names. There is Yvonne, I think her name is, something like that in the comics. But there are two versions of Black Widow. There is the Natasha Romanoff, which is the one we've all been seeing, and then there's the blonde version of Black Widow. I can't remember her name at all. But those two were in the academy together of whatever the fuck training she went into, right? They showed a little bit in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
So that girl is there during that time as well. And I know she's in this movie. They casted her, and she's playing that character. So she's playing the other version of Black Widow. I think this is going to be a passing of the torch-esque moment.
Yeah.
So we will get another version of Black Widow. It's just not going to be ScarJo's version. Which I think that's kind of okay to do because there are multiple characters in this universe. To think it has to be this one is pretty stupid, in my opinion, me being a comic fan. That would be like me saying, well, I'm not going to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier because there's only one Captain America and he's Steve Rogers. It's like, no. I want to see that fucking show bad. Because I just want to see it because I love Cap. But I think that's kind of cool. I don't know if she'll be a bad guy at first or a good guy or what have you. David Harbour, I would have pegged to be Taskmaster, but he's not. He's the Red Guardian, which is one of Captain America's villains, so there again could be something. Other than that, the director of it is Kate Shortland, a woman directing it. No, I'm just I don't know. That's really all I got for the story. I don't really know anything else about it. What do you guys think about a Black Widow movie? Too late? Too soon? Too bad?
I don't think it's really too late for any of this. You know what I mean? There's such a fan base for it. You could pump out pretty much anything.
Well, I guess not that. I'm just saying, is it too late to do a movie about her after she's dead?
I mean, if you're not going to do a prequel, kind of.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, yes, this is a prequel, but it's not the prequel I think people wanted it to be.
Right, yeah.
Like, I don't give a fucking rat's fart what she did after Civil War. I just assume, like I said, her, Cap, and Falcon were like, look, you just went on, like, the House of Senates there, and you just kind of gave all their names away. We're gonna get going.
I care more about what Hawkeye was doing that time than her, really.
Well,
you know
it's pretty evident that he retired. That's what they said. He retired and he went home. Same with Ant-Man. Retired, went back and got house arrest. So all that's there, like, I don't need more backstory of how Hawkeye got out of the raft to when he got home. I don't need that story. I don't need from when Black Widow was last seen saying we're basically superheroes to when they showed her in Infinity War. My mind can create what isn't there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So once you put something there, and if it's not fulfilling, you just tarnished what I created in my head, which was a pretty cool storyline for me to take.
And then if you think, oh shit, we've got to do the prequel now, you know what I mean?
Then that's too late.
Yeah.
I wanted to see some early missions.
Yes, I was.
Yep.
And maybe not even so much like with big bad supervillains.
No.
Like
the thing she did with the Russian, general
Right.
or whatever, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
exactly. And then you've got like Captain America, Winter Soldier. In the very beginning, they're on the I forget what the name of the ship was that they were on. But you have Batroc, the Leaper, played by GSP. Now he wasn't. He is a big villain in the comics. He's a big fucking annoying. Not literally big. He's just a guy that jumps around on springs essentially. He's got boots that can. That's why he's called Batroc, the Leaper. And that I thought it was cool that GSP was him because he is that athletic. He can give that idea of this guy bounces all around. And he was wearing the color scheme, but you didn't go out of your way to villainize him and be like, whoa, there's this big bad in the beginning of the movie. No, it's just, if you don't know who he is comic book wise, you're just thinking he's just a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a dude trying to fucking steal shit. The Lumerian Star, that's the name of their ship. Lumerian Star, I knew that would come to me. But yeah, like, you don't need to emphasize every villain that you do per movie has to be this grand schemed villain. It could just be, we gotta stop the Russians because they have their version of the super soldier serum and we're trying to prevent them from creating an army of it. And just per chance, one guy gets it and he just bulks up. Not, oh my god, he's the Hulk, but bad. Like, it doesn't have to go to that extreme. Like, I mean, I don't know, maybe they will do that in this because, like, Taskmaster, though, that's a good villain. He's not super over the top.
I only know him from, like, the games.
And he can mimic your fighting style and then do that against you to where it's like, fuck, how do I beat this guy? He knows my moves before I even do them. That's a villain I'm excited for. Like, that's just an easy bad guy. He's not over to take over the world. He's just creating a militia to whoever can pay me the most, they get my services.
Yep.
And I don't know if they'll go that route in the movie because that just seems too tongue-in-cheek for a full narrative. But I love that shit. It's simple. It gets to the point. There's not this, oh my god, we have to get to point A to point B and then point C or where the world's going to blow up. Like, that gets a little passé, especially after Endgame.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see every villain now wanting to take over the Earth because it's, at this point, as a civilian, I'd be like, just fucking let them do it. I'm tired of, like, dying, coming back. I'm tired of almost dying and not coming back. Just let them take the planet over.
Because then when we try to save them, we create more problems.
Exactly. Maybe what they're trying to do is helpful. Maybe we're the bad guys. Like, who the fuck knows? Like, that was Dr. Doom's thing in the comics. He kills all the Fantastic Four. He kills every superhero. And then there's finally peace on Earth. Because his thought is, without you, there are no bad guys. Now, that sounds so stupid saying it out loud. But a lot of the good guys have created the villains that are in their world. I mean, Tony Stark, 100% has created the MCU as a hero, and he has created it as the villain. He has set up every fucking horrible thing that has almost happened. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, Sokovia was his fault. I can't even think right now.
Ultron was totally his fault.
All his fault. He's a son of a bitch villain. That's why I was rooting for Cap in Civil War. Yes. But that's pretty much for the Black. I mean, what do you think, Mark, for Black Widow? What are you hoping to see? What are you excited about?
I really don't. I don't know. I'd like to see her in this training, but if I want to see her grow up.
Right, you want to see her become that Black Widow. The transition from, like, where she was to the introduction of, like, Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Like, why did she get picked to go with Iron Man?
Yeah.
I want to see, like, why did Hawkeye get picked to go overwatch Thor?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that would have been a cool way to end that movie. You got Nick Fury there being like, well, Natasha, you're coming with me because I got to talk to this billionaire asshole. Hawkeye, you're going to go... We got a hammer in New Mexico. I'm going to have you go oversee it up in your little perch. You know what I mean?
Well, she's a pretty girl, and Tony likes pretty girls.
Right, exactly. And you play up that.
Yeah.
You play that up exactly, and there's all those threads that need to just be intertwined there. Because I think it does go completely unnoticed that Hawkeye was in the first Thor movie.
Totally.
All the time. And I wish he was in it a little bit more because he was
awesome.
He was awesome. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else for like a Black Widow. Ah, right here's her name. I did have it. Florence Pog? I don't know. Yelena Belova. I might have been butchering that name. I'm not really good with the what's the Russians and
isn't it like Yelena or something like that? How they pronounce it?
Yelena Bovine. Just kidding, Kim. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, good God! He took a jab at the bovine from behind. And Rachel Weisz is in it.
Woo!
Yeah, that's all I got right there. I don't know what she's
baby.
playing. Why couldn't she? Like maybe they do flashbacks and she's like the instructor lady.
That'd be
Because I
cool.
could see her being a bitch.
Love her.
You know what I mean? Like a bitch instructor.
Like the Russian bitch.
You have to do this right.
Yep.
Or whatever
I could totally
it is.
see that.
That's all I got written for Black Widow. So we'll go into the Eternals. I don't know shit about these people. I know they're super strong. They are millions of years old. In the movie, apparently, they are like living on Earth, but they've been in disguise this whole time, which to me just sounds stupid because why are you fucking not doing anything when all these events are going on? I hate it when they come right out and say that kind of stupid shit because then it's just, well, I'm sure you'll retcon them into a future movie and show that they were there the whole time like you did with the ancient one, which that was cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's cheesy. Angelina Jolie's the only one I can think of that's in the movie. Salma Hayek is in it.
Yep.
Some blind or deaf lady's in it. A kid's in it. An Asian's in it. A British guy's in it. A female's directing it.
We'll see.
I know Thanos has direct connection to the Eternals. My thing is they're making this movie because DC is doing a movie called The New Gods, which is exactly like this movie. Jack Kirby created both of these worlds. So I think this is Marvel taking a shot at DC before they can get that epic, gorgeous universe that we have barely touched out there. I think that's their thing. Again, though, I like
really Angelina Jolie.
I don't mind her. I mean, I don't know what. I just don't know the characters enough to know what she's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like everybody's jumping on the superhero bandwagon.
Oh, I know I would be if someone came to me and be like, "Hey, do you want to play a dog shit in the MCU?" Like, yeah, I look like dog shit. I could be that character, you know.
Live off those royalties for the rest of your life.
Seriously,
you know, really.
good. I don't even know when these movies come out. Just between 20 and 2021. The director of that, a woman, an Asian woman. Her name is called. They call her Chloe Zhao. I probably butchered that one too, but I'm not Asian, so that's okay. I don't really know much about that movie. Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings. That one I do know a little bit about. I didn't know Shang-Chi as much as a kid, but I do know he was around in like the 80s they created him. I remember just blips of him throughout some comics, but never knowing him specifically. I think it's cool that they're going to do they're going to do the Mandarin. Like,
wow.
I don't know these people's names, but they casted the guy and they've actually said he is the Mandarin.
Huh.
I think he is the big benefactor overarching these movies that, like in Ant-Man and the Wasp, they say there's a benefactor. Like, the one guy, he even says that he's like, my boss, I need to get this stuff for my boss or whatever. We might have to take a quick minute pause, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Mandarin?
Yeah. I wanted to say like Mandarin, but like not like that. I was saying like an orange, yeah. But they're doing the Mandarin, which I think is really cool because there was a cop out in Iron Man. I liked Iron Man 3, though. I still think it's a really good movie. But you did want to see the Mandarin.
Yeah.
And the Mandarin is just, I'll probably get this totally wrong. I'm a comic book fan, but he's a fucking like ancient Chinese, like Shang Tsung right? Kind of guy, right? That's all I picture, really. And he's got these 10 mystical rings that let him control whatever the hell, spiritual, elemental. I don't even know how else to describe it. They let him do all these crazy things that we've seen up to this point other people do individually. So this guy just has basically all that in literally 10 rings. He's got a ring on each
the
finger.
rings are his power source.
Yep.
They're like mystical rings.
Yeah, and I don't know how they'll dive into that with the movie, but yes, all 10 of his rings. He's got one on each finger. Hence, that's the 10 rings, and they all do something different.
That's amazing.
So picture like Thanos with just his gauntlet. This motherfucker's got 2 of them in his hands. So I think he's personally like the benefactor. That's what I was saying before we went to commercial break there. Brought to you by Shit Paper, strong, holding, intimate to the touch. It's the only paper you want on your derriere. I don't have it. I have Charmin.
Charmin.
And that's the one with the bears on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought again.
You can talk about
The benefactor. That's where I can't keep my mind set.
You think he's the benefactor?
I do. I think he's like this big overarching, like I've got my hand in all the cookie jars.
Damn.
And everybody's kind of working for me, but everybody, like us as the fans, is thinking like, this has to be like Norman Osborn or Victor Von Doom. Someone to that scale, where if like you go back and you look at the first phase of the MCU movies, they all had something to do with the 10 rings. Like there was almost something, not even the first phase movies, but like there's at least 6 or 7 movies that have the 10 rings in them that you don't even notice. Iron Man 2, the guy in the very beginning that's giving the information about Tony Stark to Mickey Rourke's character in like that little snowstorm alleyway. There is like a quick passing. You see the 10 rings logo on. I don't even know what it's on. I think it's on the paperwork or something that he hands him. There's a guy in Ant-Man. They show him occasionally when like Darren Cross is doing his exhibit of like, check out my Pym particle thingy. There's a guy in a suit, and I noticed him right off the bat because it was like, that guy is just a really bad extra. Because you constantly see him like mad dogging everybody. I'm like, why does this guy look so pissed off and he's a nobody? There's one part in the movie where you can see he turns his neck and he has the 10 rings tattoo on his neck. All 3 Iron Man movies essentially circle around the 10 rings. They're the people that kidnap him in the very beginning. Like when they show him, they're doing the video of him being like a hostage. There is the blanket behind them with the 10 rings logo on it. Like they're showing you it's always been there, but I feel like by the time they get to Iron Man 3 and they say it's a sham, the average person that's been picking this up is looking at it as, all of this has just been orchestrated this whole time by this guy. Which no, like there is a real Mandarin out there. One of their one-shot videos was called Hail to the King, and it showed Ben Kingsley character, the Trevor, in prison, and Justin Hammer was there as a gay guy, but they never come right out and say he's gay. You just know he is because he's got his little boyfriend there, like all over him. So I enjoyed that because it was like, you don't have to say he's gay. I could pick up on that, right?
He wouldn't make it.
But they do an interview with the Ben Kingsley character, this guy does, and he's telling the security guard, you can leave the room, I feel safe with him, he's not really a threat, he's just an alcoholic idiot. So the interviewer is saying to him, he's like, you need to come with me though, there's someone you need to, that wants to see you. And he's like, is it like a movie director? Thinking it's like something like that, and he goes, no, everyone thinks the 10 rings is a myth, and it's not. And then, like, boom, fade to black. Like, that's the last thing you ever hear of it. That's one of those Blu-ray DVD extras. If you didn't ever see it, you never would have seen it. I just think it's so exciting that they're going to do the Mandarin. And he could potentially be the big overarching villain for the next phases of movies. You know what I mean? Like, this one guy that's slowly been there, but yet hasn't. And Shang-Chi, I just know he's Bruce Lee. He has no superpowers. Wow. He is just essentially Bruce Lee, and he's just, think of like Iron Fist with his martial arts, then added with Jackie Chan, and then Bruce Lee throws a little Salt Bae on there. Did I do that right?
Yeah. See, I just thought Shang-Chi, he would have chi, like
No, his name
power.
is Shang-Chi.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they might do something like that in the movie and show some kind of like supernatural thing to where he does have the ability to fight off these people that truly do have powers. But as of right now, he is, from what I know in the comics, he is just a guy that wears a red and black jumpsuit. And he's Asian,
Cool.
and he can kick ass. He has
Awesome.
nunchucks. Like, he uses martial arts weapons.
That's cool.
I think that's a cool way also to maybe introduce the Hand that was in the Netflix shows, because they're a big to-do, like they're the biggest ninja to-do in all of the comic books. And I mean, if you're gonna just be dealing with Asian people, I'm being stereotyping, but I mean, they're ninjas. Like, you can't say there's a group of white Caucasian ninjas. People are gonna be like, that's just sad. But when you say ninjas, you're thinking like, oh, them Asian motherfuckers that are, you know what I mean? So I'm all into that. Where they're gonna go with that, I don't really know. It is kind of upsetting that it's not gonna be Iron Man dealing with Mandarin, because I get like that's where I feel like I was robbed.
Yeah.
Not so much it wasn't the Mandarin, but now that I'm not gonna see Iron Man fight the Mandarin, it seems a little. But I think it's cool. The director for that one, I don't know if it's a man, woman, child, or in between, but it's Destin Daniel Creighton. I would imagine with the middle name Daniel, but we don't want to assume in 2019.
That's my middle name.
It is your middle name. But we don't like to assume, because who knows what Destin is.
Yeah.
Destin could be...
They're destined to be.
Could be one of those gender neutral names.
It could be a this. It could be a this. It could be a this. I don't...
It's ma'am. It's ma'am.
Even ma'am is generalizing it. Like that... It's thing. It's thing, damn it. That's how I... You know what I mean? Everybody's a Ben Grimm in this untapped universe. I don't know what you are. Where are we going? Where are we?
Yes, let's go with that.
Again, that's pretty much all I got for Shang-Chi. What do you guys like? I mean, I know you really don't know the character.
It'll be
I don't
cool
know.
to see something different. You
Right,
know what I mean?
exactly,
Something,
yes.
in that pantheon, but something different.
And if someone comes out and says first fucking Chinese superhero, I get it, but he's not the first Chinese like movie star. So I don't want to hear that shit from like I go a little off topic, but like when Black Panther came out, the world, I loved Black Panther, so don't get that wrong, but the world was like, this is the first black superhero, this is amazing. Blade.
Yeah, Blade, baby.
Blade. And there's other ones. There's like Meteor Man. It's a comedy. It's not.
Meteor Man?
Yeah, I don't know who.
You go Blank Man with
Blank Man with one of the Wayans, right?
Yeah, Dame. I think it was Damon.
Damon Wayans, exactly. But if you're trying to be serious and make it legit for this day and age, then yes, say it like that. But we, the masses, we know.
Yeah.
Like Blade. And we're going to get to Blade. Even though Blade is rumored to be in Phase 5, I think there's going to be a little bit of Blade in Phase 4.
The only way where I've seen Shang-Chi, my nephew had a tent for like an indoor tent.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the tent.
Really?
Marvel, along with Wolverine, like all the Marvel heroes.
Wow, that's very
I'm
random.
like, who's this guy?
He doesn't get a lot of mainstream like
No.
that. Well, because even now in the comics, Hulk is Asian. Amadeus Chow, I believe his name is.
Oh, wow.
Which, I don't really care because it's not the Bruce Banner version of Hulk. There's multiple versions of people that have been affected by that gamma radiation. But he's just got the title, the Hulk. Because I believe Bruce Banner's still alive. He just doesn't want to be the Hulk anymore.
Is he old?
No, it takes place in that's Captain America Empire comic I have.
Oh, okay.
He's just kind of like a recluse, like he normally is. Like, I don't want to be part of that at all because I know the dangers that could happen. I think he ended up killing a few of the Avengers during a rage. I think that's what his thing was, but I'm not 100% sure. But the meat of the boner here is Doctor Strange. I am so excited for a Doctor Strange sequel. I think it's... When I think about his sequel, I think, Jesus Christmas, his movie came out in 2016. He's not going to have a sequel till 2020? Like, what? But I kept trying to think of, like, why? Why hasn't he had a movie sooner? He has been in one movie every year since 2016. So you have seen him once. Like he was in Doctor Strange. A year later, he's in Thor Ragnarok. Even though it's a small moment, you still see him. You know
he was
he's
a
there.
major part in helping that storyline.
Right,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
And then boom, there he is in Infinity War, full Bergalia.
Yeah.
And then he's in it again, or at the end of Endgame. But he was a topic of discussion through all of that because nobody knew. Like, how did Doctor Strange do that? So he's always been there. It's just I can't believe it's taken this long to get to a sequel.
Yeah.
But clearly they have ideas. It's called the Multiverse of Madness, which is clearly going to be him going through different, I'm just going to word it like this, dimensions, worlds, the multiverses, which opens up every door now. And for people that keep saying, oh, they mentioned the multiverse in Spider-Man, so the only reason they're doing it now is to appease the fans, because I've seen a couple people say that. That's some bullshit. Because in the very first Doctor Strange, the Ancient One says to him, you are just a small part of a vast universe of multiverses.
Yep.
So it's there. It's right there. It's never not. He goes to Dormammu's Dark Dimension. That's another multiverse.
Yep.
It's always there. Not Ragnarok, but Asgard. That's a multiverse. It doesn't exist in our universe. You have to get sent there.
You have to go take the Bifrost to get there.
So it's just always there, but until it's labeled, I guess people don't look at it that way, which I am constantly doing that. But I know the show WandaVision plays right into the Doctor Strange sequel, which I'm super excited for because there's so many things that can open up the door to the X-Men, to the mutant idea. I'm waiting for a House of M storyline, which I don't know if they'll ever do. They'll probably do some weird version of it. But in that comic, Doctor Strange is the one that defeats Scarlet Witch. Because she's a villain in that comic. 100% the villain in that comic, in my opinion. She creates that universe where mutants are dominant and humans are submissive. And Doctor Strange is the one that defeats her. So maybe there's something in between there. They do that. I'm excited for it.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know who the villain could be. I would like to see it be Nightmare because the director Scott Derrickson, he's a return director. He's one of the only 2 directors that are returning to make these movies. And then, like I said, Taika thinks he's funny with TD. But he said that at the Comic-Con, this is going to be the first horror movie in the Marvel universe. And I'm all for that. And I mean, when he says horror, I think Nightmare, who is the boogeyman of the MCU, or not even the MCU, but of the Marvel comics. He is the grotesque, scary, I will bring your fears to life and kill you with them type character. And I just think those two go hand in hand. Other than that, I haven't really thought too much on that movie. But one movie I have thought about is an Ant-Man prequel, where the Fantastic Four are involved in that. They existed back when Hank Pym and Michelle Pfeiffer's characters were young and in the game. And I would like to see them do an Ant-Man 3 movie and have it still set place in Scott Lang and Paul Rudd's time, but it is a telling of a tale story where you show the original Ant-Man and Wasp learning the trade of what they're doing, and Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm are there as SHIELD operatives or something. Not operatives, but scientists. You just haven't seen them because they never really were. You didn't need to up
They
until
could be
now.
the ones that design the helicarrier and all that stuff.
Well, well, I'm going off of they get pulled into the quantum realm.
Okay.
That's how that city I showed you gets built. Maybe the Fantastic Four, while they're stuck there, create that city in the quantum realm. Because come on, I showed you, that's got to be something.
That was really weird.
That's got to be something. That's a full-blown fucking city. Right there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the image.
Uh-huh.
And I would like that to be like fish out of water, the superheroes out of time. Like once the snap and everything happens, or they access the quantum realm in Ant-Man and the Wasp, it leaves that door open and they come through and they're like, well, we're from the 60s and we have these 60s style family values of love and respect, but wow, what the fuck kind of world are we in now? And that could be your culture clash. That could be your way to show, not diversity, but like show that political change in the guard of, well, the family values back then used to be like, you know, you respected each other, you were side by side, but now we're out of time and we're in a world where it's everybody's just miserable and horrible to each other, and families don't sit down and eat together. They all sit in different rooms or they're on their phones while dinner's going on. Show that traditional Fantastic Four, the first family, have them come to modern times and have to adapt, kind of like a Captain America had to adapt.
Right.
I think that'd be really cool.
That could be the name of the movie, Out of Time.
Right, Fantastic Four, Out of Time, something so simple.
Yep.
I mean, and to them in the quantum realm was only 20 minutes.
Yep.
But here now it's been 30 years in real time. I think that would be cool. Nothing's on the table right now for an Ant-Man movie at all, so I'm just going to throw that out there. But
Fantastic Four, like now.
Right. I want Fantastic Four before I want a fucking Wolverine.
Yeah.
Fuck Wolverine. Give me the first family. Give me and then you could show the Fantastic Four in like those quantum realm suits, where they're the cheesy old blue suits with the white ring around the neck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? They're classic suits.
The classics, yeah.
And have that be relevant for like why would they have ever? Oh, okay. And then their modern suits are their modern take on that suit.
Yeah.
I just think that would be really neat. You know, like I said, that's got nothing to do with the Phase 4 shit. What do you guys think of a Doctor Strange movie?
It's a long time coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think you need to expand that character more. You know, I definitely think it's a good thing for it.
Thank you, yes man, Dave. Markadius, come on, what do you think, man?
I love the first movie, and
Who'd you go see the first movie with?
You.
What did we do immediately after we went and saw that first movie?
Ate food. Talked about the Fantastic Four.
Who did you see for the very first time that day?
Who did I see?
You were the
Gemma.
You were the first person out of my blood family to see my daughter.
Yeah,
yes.
I remember that. That was awesome.
That was. We went and I'm sure we did get food.
We did.
But we did. We went back to my former partner. That's what I'm supposed to be told to say.
Yep.
House, and you saw my little baby
did.
daughter
Like,
just
oh,
laying
she's so
there in her
cute.
crib, well, her bassinet or whatever the hell it was. She
I
was
couldn't
asleep.
hold her.
So that was the very first MCU movie that came out when my daughter was born. That's why I love it, because it was just a good time, good feel, and it was kind of cool. So every time I think that, I always just think of you and I going back and seeing my baby. It is a long name though for a movie. I mean, both of these are long names. Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings. It's a long title.
That's gonna fill the thing up.
I'd like to see some Asians try to say that. Ching Lang rings. We do accept hate mail.
We certainly do.
I want to see how, if he can get more powerful. I guess that's what I want to see.
Yeah,
Doctor
see what limits he has.
Yeah, like because he's wicked awesome and powerful now. Like, can he get even more powerful?
I would imagine so. Who knows? I'm not sure. And that includes, Scarlet Witch being involved in it. It's like those two are mystic creatures, essentially. I can't wait to see if they come together or they collide.
Yep.
What comes of that? But what I'm really interested in is, does he still have the time stone? Because if Cap returned all the stones back to their rightful place, then that would mean that Sanctum Sanctorum would get the Eye of Agamotto back, because that's where it always was. So it would. But is that in the current timeline,
what timeline?
Or the 2014 timeline?
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how that works, because that clearly was like what if Dormammu came back? Oh fuck! I don't have my necklace. Let me turn my watch back, see if that one works. I'm so curious to see where they go with that, because I love that shit. I love Dormammu, because it was like, wow, I can't believe they went and brought Dormammu into this shit. I thought that was really, really, really rad.
Wong. Return of Wong.
The Return of Wong. Doctor Strange 3. Where's Wong? He's out buying what was it, in Infinity War, like a sandwich for like a $1.45 or something like that. He's like, yeah, give me one of those deli sandwiches. What do you got for money? Like $1.45.
He's the best.
What's Wong?
Benedict Wong
Yeah, that's weird too, right? Benedict Wong
plays Wong.
And then Benedict Cumbersome Buns plays Dr. Wong. All right, that gets us kind of away from the movies. We're gonna blow through the shows pretty quick because there's not a lot of meat to these. Only what I have written down. Like Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be, all these shows take place after Endgame, which I love. I think it's cool post credits after that shit. But Falcon and Winter Soldier, I don't know what the story is, if it's going to be a battle of who's Captain America. Because in my opinion, Winter Soldier, after I've really thought about it, should never be Captain America. He is a goddamn brainwashed Nazi.
Yeah.
You've already postered him throughout the news media that Winter Soldier is this assassin, you know what I mean? It's globally known. He cannot rightfully be Captain America. He doesn't stand up for the ideologies. He doesn't stand for what the Captain America's guard is. So I think Falcon is truly your only best option because he has been there with Cap through more journeys than Bucky has, honestly, as an ally. So I think Falcon should definitely be Captain America. Or maybe not give him the name, but just carry the shield. He's still Falcon with the shield.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know the story. I know Zemo is returning. The guy that played him, Daniel Brohl. I didn't think I was going to remember his name. But he is returning as Zemo with the purple ski mask, which is righteous. I know there's a timeline for all this shit, and I don't know what it is. I don't really care. It's just 2021. What do you guys think about Falcon Winter Soldier show? What do you guys kind of want from that? What don't you want from that?
I would like to see him use the shield.
Yeah, you think the shield should actually be part of what's going on, or do you think that should just be a title, essentially? Like, oh, there's the shield over there, but neither one of us can get it till we go and beat this bad guy. Or you just think, fuck that, we need to use this.
I think they'll pass it back and forth between each other.
I think that'd be fun.
Okay.
That'd be fun. That would be fun.
I was thinking maybe he'd shoot, put the shield, throw the shield, and then shoot bullets at it, and have him.
Oh, so you want to see a combo move?
Yeah.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. You're thinking of fucking Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
You're totally going with Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
That would be cool because
but we'll see.
We will. I think it would be sweet. Just imagine him fucking flying with the shield and winging it at people, and then as it's between heads and shit, he's just swooping down, kicking shit out of people, and then he catches There's a lot of cool images that could be put there.
Yep. Passing back and forth would be great too.
It would be, but then again, I don't want to see Bucky as Cap. Yeah, sure he can use it, catch it, grab it, but just as a character build, you should never be Captain America. You are known as an assassin and a murderer.
And that could add a little bit of comedy too, because they could be arguing over who gets to use the shield and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some banter back and forth.
In the car in Civil War.
Right, they have good chemistry, and it should be Bucky being. I don't even know if Bucky cares, but how I'm looking at it is Bucky should be a little resentful in my opinion. Damn, this fucker with wings got it before me. But then it should sink into reality is hey, all this Baron Zemo guy has to do is look at Bucky and say train cart, homecoming, luchador, whatever the fuck those words were, and then he's back being, Winter Soldier essentially.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't his mechanical arm that brainwashed him, it was
unless they did something to him in Wakanda to take that
which
away.
they could have.
Yep.
But if they didn't, you missed the opportunity to tell that in the story unless you do that here. Because that's something you should show. Because I'm just not going to assume that. I should, but I'm not going to. I mean, you showed me you giving him another fucking arm. If that's important, then you need to show me you guys taking a microchip out or whatever the hell would trigger those words.
Yeah.
Because I could just assume, he's just going to get another arm built. That just makes sense logically.
Yeah.
So if you're showing me, you're presenting him with the briefcase of an arm, I kind of need to see the whole, well, we went in and tapped into your brain and took that part out. That was whatever. I don't know.
Maybe Shuri did something.
Right. Show me that, though.
Didn't he say, like, the White Wolf has been asleep for too long or something like that? Or
I think they meant, to me, I think they meant that as we haven't needed him. Like, he's just been kind of a farmer on our land. Like, it's time for him to come out of retirement. Because it's not like they said, it's not like when he's fighting, he's triggered.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I guess that's the contradiction there. It's just, they bring him the arm, and he's like, all right, when's the fight coming? So there is that to contradict that. Other than that, I don't know anything about the show. I'm kind of hoping Martin Freeman's in it. Because he's been playing that political figure a little bit in the MCU, and who doesn't like seeing, Bilbo Baggins come back? So, and that'd be kind of neat. WandaVision, we kind of did talk about this a little bit, I think, last time, or I think someone said Shuri bringing him back or something like that. I don't remember. Maybe I didn't think that. But that's the only thing I can think of is like the technology in Wakanda bringing a new Vision back to life. Like they have his subconscious maybe because his body's still there, and maybe they could tap into the subconscious part. Just his body's dead. Because it's called WandaVision. Clearly Vision's going to be in it some way, somehow.
Yeah. And
Paul Bettany even came out on the stage with her at San Diego Comic-Con. So, I mean... how that ties into Doctor Strange, I still haven't the slightest idea because no one actually said Vision is going to be in Doctor Strange, which I should assume, but maybe something happens in between again. I look forward to it. Loki is taking place from the 2012 version of Loki when he gets the Tesseract again.
That's cool.
When they show him at Endgame and he gets the Tesseract and they show him walk through that portal, that's the Loki we're following. Which I think is great because that's still the villain, Loki.
Yep.
That's not the one that's been turned...
The villain that just got, defeated.
Exactly. And he didn't even get defeated. I mean, he did, but now he didn't again. Because, I'm on the run again, and I got the Tesseract back, and here we go.
I love it.
So that show, from what Kevin Feige said, is going to be him going through the galaxies, just wreaking havoc and causing problems. I love that. Because you get a good story arc with Loki dying in Infinity War.
Yep.
Like, that's your original Loki you've been following since Thor 1. He's dead and gone finally. I'm glad that's happened, because he did have that turn of heart.
He did.
Yep.
Kind of thing, which that's a good story arc. Like, it would be satire to be like, well, he didn't die, so he's just going to be an asshole again for the sake of being an asshole? Like, fuck him. I don't care for that character. Where this one is like, no, this one he has not experienced the Dark World. He has not experienced Thanos to that degree yet. He hasn't experienced any of this shit. He is the asshole Loki that is yet to be banished from Asgard. Like, I'm so excited for that idea of this, the original Loki just being out there.
His redemption.
No, not
the first one.
What do you mean?
Like Avengers 1.
Because I'm thinking like his redemption is like Infinity War. That was I guess redeeming. Like what's the word? Isn't it? I don't know what word I'm looking for to say that. Like, yeah, he redeemed himself. That's the word I am looking for. He redeemed himself from the shithole he was, and died a noble hero. Like, so I don't know. Maybe we're using the words in the.
Yeah, maybe I meant to say
I mean, you might
his do-over.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. I'm just excited for that, to see that in
And
cause of mock.
I love Tom Hiddleston.
I do too.
Yeah, he got one of the biggest reactions.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, so
I think it's kind of weird. I mean, I don't know if they'll ever do it, but if they bring Venom into the MCU, to me it's kind of funny. There's going to be 3 THs in the MCU. There's Tom Holland, Tom Hiddleston, and Tom Hardy.
Oh wow!
And that's just kind of weird.
3 Toms.
They're the Holy Trinity.
3 Chris's.
No, I didn't do that. Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, and Chris Pratt. Chris Rock too, because he's coming in to be the black guy. Because they need the token black guy to be in these movies. So Chris Rock. I'm just kidding, guy.
Is he really in a movie?
Yeah, grown-ups. Go
Thank
check
God.
out that version of the Avengers. You'll really fucking laugh your ass off. And then there's a What If. I mentioned this before. It's just an animated. I don't think it's going to play any role involving the MCU. Like I don't think you have to watch this to see what's going to happen next. This is just clearly like, what if these characters did this instead? Which, like I said last time, it's going to be all about... Well, the first episode is what if Peggy Carter took the super soldier serum. Which...
Don't.
I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't really care enough about her to see if she would have been Captain America, essentially. I feel like that's just their way of doing... And I'm going to say it because of the rest of it. A female Captain America without doing the movie version of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll still watch it. I liked Agent Carter. I watched both seasons. So I'll definitely check it out. And then there's Hawkeye. Which I want to see, like, I want Ronan Hawkeye.
Yeah.
That's the Hawkeye I want. Because that fucking was bad. Could you imagine him in, like, the Blade universe? Like, he totally would have fit.
Yeah, he would have.
Like, that whole tone of that moment when he's killing those, the Yakuza. It was just like, dude, this is like not even in the MCU right now. This is like a whole nother animal. I want a full movie of this shit. And all I know is he's training Kate Bishop to essentially be the next Hawkeye, which to me leads into the Young Avengers at some point.
Yeah.
That's it for the TV shows, really. That's pretty much it for the Phase 4 lineup. Blade, I think Blade, honestly, is going to be... Because why would... If his movie isn't going to be out till, let's say, 2022, 2023, why would you have the actor come out on stage now?
Yeah.
When you've got probably a couple more Comic-Cons before then, you could do it as it gets closer.
Yeah.
I truly believe he is going to be in Doctor Strange.
It's a horror. You said it's a horror thing.
It's
Why
a
would
horror
you have
thing.
Blade in it?
You have different multiverses. Why not have Blade be battling like Blackheart? Or I mean, it doesn't have to even be vampires he's battling, because he's gone to hell and stuff like that, where Mephisto is. So I mean, there's tons of avenues they could take. I truly believe Blade will make some kind of little appearance in every single one of these movies. You know, is going to have an end credit scene to boost up what's coming next. But I watched only an hour of it the other night of Alita Battle Angel.
Ooh.
Pretty cool. I liked it.
Cool.
I like it. But Mahershala Ali is in it. His character, I don't know if I would have thought this before I knew he was Blade or after, but his character 100%, every scene he is in, it's like, yo, that's fucking Blade. Like, there's one part where this guy is like talking shit to him, and he's literally standing there in all black suits. Like, that's all the guy wears is like different types of black. Like, he'll wear a black tuxedo, or he'll wear like an all black, like Chinese kind of styled suit, and he's always got these black, like John Lennon styled circular glasses on, but they're just so badass. So I'm sitting there, and all I can do is think of this guy as Blade. Like, every time he talks, it's like, that's Blade. So this guy's giving him shit, and as he's giving him shit, I am saying this out loud, and it just happens to be the way Mahershala Ali is taking his glasses off. I am saying, who the fuck are you talking to, motherfucker? And he just takes his glasses off, just as I'm saying it. It's like, oh my god, if he was saying these words, he's Blade. Like, he looks just fucking like him. They'll show him sitting in positions like where he's like perched, just staring down people. It's like he's just waiting to cut you open with that blade. He fits the bill so much, and I haven't seen the end of it, so I don't know if he has any fight scenes. Like, that's the one thing I need to see him doing.
Yeah.
Is fighting, because he's got the mannerisms, the look, the character down in that movie, but I just don't know if he throws down like Wesley Snipes does. But
he's great.
Snipes?
I was just watching Blade 1 and 2.
Yeah, you're saying that.
Damn, he's awesome.
Well, and I never really know much about the horror stories of Blade 3, but that movie, like, I guess from Patton Oswalt, who's in it, just said that movie like was this close every single day to never happening.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, they said Now I'm gonna go off of what the rumors and innuendos are, but Patton Oswalt seems like a pretty legit guy, and I don't see why he'd put this out there if
Right.
there wasn't truth behind it. But he was saying, like, the whole time that Wesley Snipes would not be referred to as Wesley Snipes. You refer to him as Blade. He goes, he would even hand you sticky notes. Like, he goes, he would go up to the director all the time. Because him and the director, like, Blade, here I am. Wesley Snipes choked out the director during the filming of the movie. Because there was so much creative difference. Because I get it. Wesley Snipes created that character, Blade. He knows the character.
Yeah.
David S. Goyer, who has been like the executive producers on the first two, was full-fledged director on this one. And I think this guy is just a total tool. He's like a total fucking douchebag tool. I hate watching interviews with him because he just thinks, well, Dracula was the first comic book I ever picked up, so I know it all. Like, he really, like, just is an annoying fucking guy. Like that Taika Waititi guy. Like, that's him, but different skin, different look. So, I guess Blade choked him out at one point, but he would give sticky notes to the director, being like, I'll be out of my trailer in like 10 minutes, and he'll autograph it as Blade. I'm thinking to myself,
that's awesome.
I'm going to keep all these sticky notes and then resell them. So you keep staying in character, because I'll make money.
He was a method actor in that third Blade.
Yeah, but like way beyond it. Like
he was just done with it.
The scene where he is like cuffed, and he looks all drugged up, Patton Oswalt said because he was all fucking drugged up in that scene. He goes, that he was really in the moment. Not hard drugs, just weed. Like, and you can tell his eyes are truly glossy in that scene. Like, he just looks like he's stoned, and he did. He truly does look like he's fucking stoned in it. He goes, I remember walking by his trailer and just getting hit in the face with a brick wall of marijuana smell. And it's like, I know you went in that trailer with a Patton.
Yeah.
You're leaving that part out of the story.
Guilty.
I know you fucking went in there and smoked with his ass. But I guess there was just a lot of, like, Wesley Snipes kept calling Ryan Reynolds the cracker on set, which, come on, if Ryan Reynolds isn't getting offended by that and he's probably throwing it back, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah.
I could see Ryan Reynolds throwing shit back at him.
Exactly.
With no problem.
Yup.
How big a star was Ryan Reynolds at the time?
He was hot because of
Van Wilder?
yes.
Okay.
That was like his big hot moment.
And I think Waiting had come out too.
I think that might have been around the same time because it was like
Right.
03, so yeah. But other than that, he wasn't Deadpool Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
Like, by any means. And he kept pushing for a full-on sex scene with Jessica Biel.
Do you blame?
I'm not going to hate on that. You know what? You got to throw shit at the wall and see what sticks, and you never know. I mean, she went from 7th Heaven to fucking Cloud 9 with me. So, who knows? Who knows what it could have been. But I guess the main story was not to have Dracula in it. When they go to the blood bank farm, where all those bodies are in like Ziploc bags and they're getting their bodies drained, that was the main story of the movie. Of like stopping the guy that's doing that. Not the team resurrecting Dracula. That was just a side thrown in there for the fun of it. It's like, wow, that's like my least favorite part is Dracula, because that guy fucking sucked.
Yeah, that was horrible.
That was just...
It was like they wanted to make Deacon Frost, but they didn't know how to make Deacon Frost.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They should have just brought Deacon Frost back.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's one of those things, and too, the new Blade movie, I would like it if maybe Wesley Snipes was Deacon Frost.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, yeah.
I think that would be kind of sweet, because then he can use that I'm pissed off that I'm not Blade Rage in an effort to be, you know, a good villain.
Yeah.
I think that'd be kind of cool. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the Phase 4. How long have we been going on?
An hour and a half.
Hey, that's pretty much right on time.
Yeah.
I know we missed stuff. We're not perfect. They're not perfect. I'm trying to be perfect.
I'm sure we'll pick it up at some point.
At some point. Because there's always, you know, tidbits that are coming out left and right for shit of, like, what's happening in these movies and stuff. And this is basically just to keep on top of the main topics. Because, I mean, every day there is a video that one of these guys here will post about, oh, this just came out, the rumors are this now, you know, and like the guy Gus playing somebody in the MCU. I just saw that like yesterday.
love it.
So, a lot of interesting things.
Can we talk about Kevin Conroy being in?
Let us mention that. Yeah, we do want to. I kind of want to mention that for a few minutes. For anybody that watches the Arrowverse, what are they on? Like their 4th crossover, probably.
Oh yeah.
So if you've watched the Arrowverse and everything to do with it, you really have to almost watch every fucking show now at this point in the DC universe, which I got like 90% of them over there on DVD. I love Titans. I just started watching Titans.
Oh wow.
Woo!
Yeah.
That show's fucking awesome. I spit. Titans is dope.
Really?
Titans is fucking dope, man.
Okay.
Like one of the first things, we'll get back to the Kevin Conroy thing.
Yeah.
But one of the first things Robin says, right after his fight, dude, he throws down with these guys and fucks them up. Like he's killing them. He's straight killing them in this fight. And right in the beginning, one of the bad guys goes, "Ugh, where's your boss? Where's the Batman?"
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Fuck you, motherfucker, I can do this." Beats the fuck out of all these guys, and right at the end of the fight, he goes, "Fuck Batman." And it's like, yes. And don't bleep it out or nothing. Like, everything is in this show.
Wow.
I loved it. I
Did you
thought
watch the
it
whole
was,
season?
No, I've only gotten through 2 or 3 episodes, I think. Fucking awesome. Starfire, they're awesome. All of them are awesome. Everybody in the show is wicked cool. I love all these Titans, man. I can't wait to see them progress. Season 2 looks awesome. They got Deathstroke as the main villain. Did you see the trailer for it?
I think I did. Yeah.
I
on
thought.
Facebook.
I mean, Deathstroke is it's starting to get overplayed now. I think a little bit because he's everywhere. But Titans has to have him in it. That's their antagonist. That's their main villain. Is him.
Awesome.
But it's pretty sweet. But yeah, that doesn't connect into the Arrowverse.
No.
No, they have their own, they're building their own universe, with that and Doom Patrol. They completely cross over. There is an episode in Titans called Doom Patrol,
Whoa.
where they show all of the Doom Patrol characters. But yeah, they're doing their, what is it, Crisis on Infinite Earth?
Yes.
Okay, that's their huge crossover. Last year they had, what, Batwoman in their crossover? Or is it this year?
No, not even yet. This year.
So they just introduced Batwoman in her own show, but yeah, she has yet to cross over?
Right.
Okay. I have no intentions on watching Batwoman, because that not exact quote, but that paraphrase quote I said earlier, she is the female Batman, which, okay, but some guy says to her, "Here's the bat suit. It's perfection." And she goes, once a woman wears it, then it's truly perfect. That was the quote. It's like,
oh man,
stop.
Just beat him down.
It's a perfect suit because it's indestructible. It keeps you safe, not because it doesn't have tip placements in it. You know what I mean? It's just that Batgirl and Batman and Robin didn't say, "Wow, now this team is perfect because Alicia Silverstone is here." It's like, if anything, that fucking soured that shit. I know you liked her.
Who?
Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah, it's Batgirl.
Yeah, I don't even know. I just know you like her, right?
She's alright. I like Clueless.
See, that's the one, yeah. Paul Rudd's in that. That's the only reason to watch that shit, is Paul Rudd. But, they do crossovers every year,
Yep.
and every year they get bigger and bigger because they add more and more people to them. And the scales just get bigger and bigger. Like, they've got Superman in these shows now. Brandon Routh, the kid that's playing the Atom, is also going to be reprising his role as Superman. He's going to be the Atom and Superman. Now, what I mean by the reprising, he was Superman in Superman Returns. So they're going to have, that's Infinite Earths. There you go. But the big to-do, Mark, is what?
Kevin Conroy as old man Bruce Wayne.
As live-action Bruce Wayne.
And they did a fan picture. Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
It's pretty awesome.
How awesome is that? He is, to me, the definitive Batman other than Michael Keaton live action. Like, Kevin Conroy for 30 plus years has been Batman. He's been Batman for since my childhood to my adulthood. The video games, the cartoons, cartoon movies. So now
he's finally getting his credit.
Exactly. So now when people say who's the greatest Batman of all time, I can definitively say Kevin Conroy, because he was legit live action Batman. And I just think that is just the coolest thing in the world. And that leaves open the door to, well, who has to be... There's got to be a Joker.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Why would you not cast Mark Hamill as the Joker to be the Joker in his universe? Perfect. They were the Joker and Batman for 30 years together. Throughout the cartoon and the video games. I was talking to Mr. J about it. He's like, well, Mark Hamill's the trickster.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Why can't Mark Hamill, his trickster, be from whatever Earth that Batman's from, but instead of him calling himself the trickster, he refers to himself as the Joker. Same character, just different version.
Yeah, Earth. There's 3 Earths in.
There's like a shit ton of them now. I don't even know.
I can't wait to see.
Well,
what
because
they
of
do.
Wells, because of Harrison Wells, there's infinite Earths because they've showed like 100 different Harrison Wells.
Okay.
So that's but there's no Batman on any of the Earths that we've seen so far.
Oh.
So that could just leave open. Well, just because we've never seen the Joker on our Earths doesn't mean there's not a Joker in that Batman universe. I think that would just be brilliant to bring those two icons.
So you think Conroy is going to be from another Earth? Or?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, say we are Earth 616, which is normal Earth. I'll say he's from, like, Earth 9.
Oh, damn.
Like how Supergirl isn't from the same universe as
Yeah,
Barry
because
and
Barry
them.
has to go.
He has to basically time travel.
Yeah.
So that's how I think of that. Because there's a Gotham on her Earth, on her planet. Because they show all this shit happening in Metropolis, and you hear Dad go, oh, we should probably have just stayed in Gotham. So you know there's a Gotham there. But, I mean, there's a Bloodhaven in Arrowverse. They mentioned Bloodhaven a bunch of times at certain times. There's just... They didn't know what they were going to be doing by this point, so you know that. I give them credit, but the DC movies need to stop trying to catch up with the Marvel movies and start catching up with their own DC shows. Because the DC shows are going crazy with this shit. There is a Bruce Wayne Batman in Titans. Like...
Really?
They never... I can't say never. They don't show him in where I'm at up in Titans right now. They mention Bruce Wayne. They mention Batman all the time. I know the very last episode is Dick Grayson versus Batman, but I don't think it's Batman. I truly believe it's Jason Todd.
Whoa.
Arkham Knight. I truly fucking believe it's him because they mentioned him in the show. I really believe it's Jason Todd portraying Batman. But the guy that played Jorah Mormont in Game of Thrones is Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
He's Batman.
In season 2 or
Yeah,
what?
season
Okay,
2. Because they show him walking through Wayne Manor with Dick
Yeah.
Grayson, and I don't know what he's saying to him, but they call him Bruce Wayne. I'm like, oh my god, that dude's fucking Batman? Like,
I like him.
that's cool as shit. But yeah, I'm kind of glad you said that, because that was a little off the topic one, but that's big news, because for me and you and any other comic fan, that's fucking awesome to have
Maybe
Kevin
this will-
Conroy.
I mean, I'm not saying that cameo will
Batman Beyond?
bring this. Oh yeah.
Is that where you were going to go or no?
No, I was gonna say maybe the CW will like do this crossover like super good.
I hope so, and they take care of it, because I would love to see... If this is old man retired Bruce Wayne, maybe, if that's the route they're going,
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a Terry McGinnis. I want to know that
That'd
there
be
is a
sick.
Batman Beyond character
Wow.
in another universe or something. Because like, the movies haven't even done that yet.
Nope.
And Batman Beyond was cool as fuck, man.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
was.
suit I wear every time in Arkham
yeah.
City. Every time I wear the Batman Beyond one. Or the Batman Returns where he's like old. It's like, I'm back in Gotham City. I just plays the old Batman. But yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up. Which, talking about Batman and the DC pretty much concludes the Phase 4 topic, because that had nothing to do with Marvel, but I'm glad you said it, because that is a cool thing.
It's cool.
Well, we get off the rails all the time.
Well, that's a good... Because I normally do interject random moments like that in, but it's kind of just staying on the criteria. So yeah. On another note, hopefully, if I'm feeling better, I'm still going to Boston Comic Con this upcoming weekend. If not, my cosplay character will be
Professor X.
Professor X. That's probably I talked about that with Mr. J last night. He's like, you could go as like Professor Xavier. I was like, yeah.
I mentioned that too. When you were in the
Yeah, I'm
bathroom.
I was like, yeah, that'll work.
I said maybe there'll be a wheelchair in there.
And he's got one in case I need one,
Good.
and we're gonna deck it out to make it look not like a
I
hospital.
figured you'd have to have your legs lopped off before you missed Boston Comic Con.
Pretty much. So, but I was going to be dressed up as my Hulk Hogan.
Today?
Yes.
Ooh.
That's fucking awesome.
It's not as sticky because the tape's got to get changed, but you get the gist of it.
The Fu Manchu.
Let me tell you something, brother. But there's an 80s, 90s retro party that we're going to, a VIP party. Not VIP, Jesus Christ. After party. It is kind of VIP because you got to pay like a month
Yeah, it's
in advance
VIP.
to get in. You can't pay to get in once you're there.
That's cool.
So Hulk Hogan is who I'm going to be. And now I can still be Hulk Hogan, just the geriatric years. So wheelchair bound or not, the Hulkster will still be there, brother. And the weekend after that, that is all I'm going to talk about for the comic shop at
Yep.
Boston Comic Con. That will be my topics. And
Can't wait to hear about it.
on that note, Markadius, you got anything you want to say?
No, I'm good.
You shouldn't even have said that. You shouldn't even have said I'm good. You should have just left it at that long pause. Deadly Dave, what do you got to say?
Check out the Comic Wrestling Podcast on every platform that we have.
All of them.
All of them. We have so many. So many.
And as always, sometimes not as always, because I'm a little schizophrenic. I'll be different characters here and there. So not as always, I am your host, well, not host, clerk of the comic shop. We talked about the MCU Phase 4. If you like what you heard, and if you didn't like what you heard, let us know, because we really like feedback. I am Ace Williams, and we will check you guys out, because you'll check us out the next time here on the comic shop.